Storytime, and welcome to a new year and a new season for Storytime with me, Kimberlyn of Life's Work Yoga. When you find yourself in need of inspiration or guided introspection, that's what I do. That's why I'm here. As your host and guide for Storytime, let me welcome you to Season 6. Season 6? How did that happen? This year, we explore yoga tales, myths, and legends, and their application to our modern daily lives. Now, Storytime is a virtual meeting space where we gather to connect. This journey of life is all about connection, and yoga is the practice of building and nurturing authentic connections. By sharing our stories, we share our hearts. We connect more deeply, more intimately with ourselves and each other, whether it's live and in real time or anytime on your time. We're here to be together. Now, whether it's related to your practice on the mat or out in the world, to me, it's all yoga. And by that, I mean it's all part of living and learning. In other words, we're not here to be perfect or perform, but rather to practice. But let me be clear, I am not here because I have it all figured out. On the contrary, I am here because I believe that no matter what we've accomplished or not, what we've endured or not, life is better when we come together authentically and compassionately to share our stories. Welcome to Season 6 of Storytime. The world is rich with myths, parables, and stories, many of which convey life lessons that mirror our own personal journeys, struggles, and transformations. Engaging with and studying mythological stories can inspire self-reflection and personal growth, helping us navigate our own life challenges. A few popular, common, frequently used examples: the Tortoise and the Hare from Greece, the Prodigal Son from Christianity, the Monkey King from China, stone soup, which hails from a number of nations in Europe, and the Ramayana, which is an Indian epic. Are you familiar with these stories? What others come to mind? Do you have a favorite? Stone soup is my husband's favorite parable. It's a European folk story in which a hungry stranger convinces the people of a town to each share a small amount of their own food in order to make a meal that everyone enjoys. Peter loves the story of clever trickery to serve the greater good. It's the only trickster Peter condones, and fundamentally, stone soup teaches the value of sharing. Now, my favorite has always been the Tortoise and the Hare. This ancient Greek fable, this Aesop fable, is a race between a slow but steady tortoise and a fast, confident hare. Despite the hare's initial lead, his overconfidence combined with the tortoise's perseverance allows the tortoise to win the race. The lesson emphasizes the value of consistency, determination, and not underestimating others. I've always resonated with the tortoise. Another fable attributed to Aesop is The Boy Who Cried Wolf. This story tells the tale of a young boy tasked with watching over a flock of sheep. Bored and seeking attention, the boy falsely cries out that a wolf is attacking the flock. When a real wolf eventually appears, the boy's credibility is lost, and the lesson underscores the importance of honesty and the consequences of deceit. The Prodigal Son is a parable from the Bible that illustrates the themes of forgiveness and redemption. It tells of a wayward son who squanders his inheritance, but is welcomed back by his forgiving father when he returns repentant. This parable highlights the unconditional love and mercy found in forgiveness. These stories and others like them have endured through generations because they encapsulate timeless truths and offer valuable insights into human nature, ethics, and the challenges of life. While originating from different cultures and traditions, these myths and parables share the common thread, providing lessons that resonate across diverse contexts. Perhaps less well known to American audiences, the Chinese myth of the Monkey King and his journey to the West follows the adventures of the Monkey King, Sun Wukong, who accompanies a monk on a journey to retrieve sacred scriptures. Along the way, the Monkey King learns about humility and selflessness. The tale teaches lessons about personal growth, discipline, and the importance of overcoming one's ego. Similarly, many Westerners and yogis are new to the epic tales of India. These tales may not always resonate due to cultural differences and priorities, but with careful attention and study, all stories reveal as much about ourselves as they do the author and the home culture. The Ramayana is an ancient Indian epic from the Hindu teaching. It narrates the story of Prince Rama's quest to rescue his wife Sita from the demon king Ravana. The epic explores themes of duty, righteousness, loyalty, and the triumph of good over evil. It serves as a source of moral and ethical guidance in Hindu philosophy. In this season of Storytime, I'm relying on the work of others, experts who have compiled and translated these stories from India that relate to yoga practice, teachings, and principles. Additionally, I'll be sharing my favorite ways to integrate the parables and lessons for practice and for daily living. I hope that you'll join me. I'm using the work of 3 authors for this yoga myth series, specifically Classic Tales from India by Vatsala Sterling and Harish Johari, and Myths of the Asanas by Alana Kaivalya. Vatsala Sterling grew up hearing these traditional Indian stories from her mother and is fluent in numerous Indian languages, including the yoga language of Sanskrit. Alana Kaivalya is a scholar as well, a yoga teacher and a PhD doctor in yoga as personal mythology. Our first story, which you're going to have to come back next month, is about an eternally married couple, Adi Shakti, the great mother goddess, and Shiva, the lord of all gods. In many ways, Adi Shakti and Shiva represent the unity of male and female energies in all of the universe and the source of creation. Together, Adi Shakti and Shiva embody a bit of a blending of the idea of a creator god and the biblical Adam and Eve. As we begin again, I want to invite you into deeper introspection, into integration of these stories with your practice and living. Perhaps take a moment to reflect and journal. Ask yourself, what stories do you turn to make sense of your history, your origins, and your purpose? What qualities and traits do you aspire to embody, and where did you learn what these traits look like in real life? Who are the examples and role models that you look to for guidance and inspiration? And perhaps go a step deeper. Where did you lack clarity in knowing your values and virtues? What kind of hero are you seeking? What kind of hero are you being? Now I welcome you to read along with me or simply join me as we dive into the myths and stories of yoga and explore what they have to teach us today as modern yogis. And so, begins our adventure into the classic tales from India. This season, I'll share stories like how Ganesha got his elephant head, introduce you to the mythic Ganga River, meet Ram, the demon slayer, travel with Hanuman on a journey to the medicine mountain, and more. I've always loved stories, hence Storytime. But I especially love those stories that teach us lessons for living well. In closing, remember, I share these stories to expand our minds and our hearts, to grow in authentic alignment, to help you and me move freely through the tasks of each day, the seasons of life. Every day is an invitation to begin again in greater intention and alignment. And connection is key to receiving and benefiting from that invitation. So my invitation to you is just that. Let's connect. I want to hear from you. What parables and stories did you hear growing up? What was your favorite character and why? Most importantly, what values and priorities did myths, legends, fables, parables, and bedtime stories help clarify for you? If living the practices of yoga is brand new to you, take a breath and check out Coach's Chat next week. We'll get more specific about the application and integration of yoga lessons in living well. But if you've been walking this yoga talk for a while, then it's time to see what little shifts you can integrate into your daily life. How are you living your yoga? When I hear from you, I use your questions and examples to expand and personalize these messages so that they support you in living well. So email me, join the Inspired app, or come on into the studio. Whether you visit us in the studio or online, whether it's for one-on-one or a group experience, we want to meet you in the practice. We host circles, lead community practice, and offer trainings and personal treatments in body work, yoga therapy, and life's work coaching, all rooted in the practices, principles, and teachings of yoga. We are here to support you in living your life's work. We're here to support you in your self-care. Let us close this story time and begin this season with a blessing. May you breathe deeply and move freely, labor lovingly, and live vibrantly. May you be well. Namaste. Come back and see me next time, and I'll share the story of Adi Shakti and Shiva. Take care.